Hello, and welcome to Rampant Red Devils Episode 7 on the Free Kick Podcast YouTube channel. Today, I will be analysing Manchester United's 1-0 victory over West Ham United. Obviously, Man United were coming into the back of this game, sitting third in the Premier League after Leicester's 5-0 win over Sheffield United earlier, but also having to come back from the disappointment of conceding in the 92nd minute during their first round of the Europa League last 16 tie against AC Milan. They were coming up against a West Ham side who have been in exceptional form in the Premier League this season and are battling for a surprisingly battling for a Champions League place under the management of former Manchester United manager David Moyes. Jesse Lingard was unavailable due to being on loan at West Ham from Man United, and this is a result that United needed to get in order to retain second place from Leicester as we look to progress by finishing second in the league. Let's see how the first half went. So the team news then. Anthony Martial was ruled out of today's game with a hip problem, but surprisingly Marcus Rashford was recalled back to the side, having been passed fit following a suspected ankle problem that he picked up during the Manchester derby, which led to him missing the first round of the AC Milan game. It was a major boost for United, with Rashford having been playing really well recently and starring in the Manchester derby victory. It was annoying that Martial was ruled out, especially knowing that Rashford and Greenwood had to rotate playing the centre forward role. But other than that, it was a pretty much suspected team going against West Ham. West Ham was setting up with a back five to obviously stop United's counter-attack. Obviously, they had no Jesse Lingard available because obviously he's ineligible to play against his parent club. So Mikel Antonio started up front with Jarrod Bowen, whilst Declan Rice, who is apparently wanted by Man United alongside Chelsea in the summer, was captain for the Hammers, who were looking to try and take 3 points from Old Trafford to boost their Champions League hopes. So for the first half, really, it was very obvious that David Moyes and West Ham were coming to Old Trafford to sit back and stop us pressing. Obviously, their game plan worked. We didn't create many chances. West Ham's defence were resolute. We were passing the ball around nicely, trying to break down, but obviously West Ham, when they were attacking, they switched to a back three and had a midfield five. But whenever we tried to pick up the ball and counter or go on the attack, they reversed back to a back five, with Ben Johnson playing right wing back and Cresswell obviously being the left wing back on certain occasions, which was really frustrating because from having watched West Ham's performances recently, going at teams obviously with pace and trying to play football, it seemed almost as if they wanted to pick up a point from the start. I mean, obviously, maybe the fact that Jesse Lingard being unavailable and him offering more dynamic in midfield was maybe the reason for Moyes' tactical switch today. But it was very clear that they were planning to sit back and defend, and it was very difficult for us to try and break through. So the first half was all about us mainly trying to break through West Ham's sturdy defence. Mason Greenwood had a very good first half, in my opinion. Despite him not getting a goal or assisting, he's driving up players, he's taking them on, and it was from his cross that Marcus Rashford had the best chance of the first half. Greenwood picked it up and bent a beautiful cross into the box, with Rashford having a free header completely unmarked at the back post, but unfortunately he couldn't direct his header on target. It was one of the only massive chances that we had during the first half, because obviously West Ham were trying to break through, stop our attacks, and then automatically go on the attack. Antonio was causing a few problems during the first half. I mean, Antonio's just a great centre forward, really. He has strength, he has pace, he was winning fouls, won a free kick off Wan-Bissaka earlier on in the first half. But overall, it was a performance that United obviously couldn't break through West Ham's sturdy defence. I mean, obviously Rashford should have scored from the header that he had. Fabianski was in form, as usually when teams come to Old Trafford, their goalkeepers seem to turn into prime Neuers whenever we play at home against low block teams like West Ham. But obviously, it was a result going in at half time that you feel that it was going to be one of those games that we wouldn't get a result, and obviously fall further behind Leicester, who obviously won 5-0 against bottom club Sheffield United earlier. So hopefully Solskjaer would bring Amad Diallo on in the second half to kickstart a hopefully good performance. Let's see how the second half went. So obviously from the first half we know that West Ham was sitting back defensively and looked to be holding out for a point. United's aim for this half, in my opinion, was to basically break through that defence and try and create more chances. And sure enough, in the 52nd minute we had a corner. Bruno Fernandes with an excellent delivery into the box, and it seemed that Scott McTominay had headed in from at the near post. That didn't turn out to be the case. It turns out that McTominay got a slight flick onto the ball, which then proceeded to go in off the unexpected Craig Dawson, who was trying to head the ball away, but ended up heading into the bottom corner of his own net to give Man United I wouldn't say deserved. I think we had more chances, but considering West Ham were just sitting back and hoping for a point, it was no less than we deserved, as we were actually going ahead trying to win the game. Obviously, Dan James, who missed a sitter on Thursday evening, was trying to get in behind, but again, it was one of those games where we couldn't really create many chances because Fabianski was either brilliant in goal after tipping Greenwood's shot onto the post during the second half, and West Ham sitting back playing deep and defensively. And usually when United come up against teams like that sit deep and look to stop our main threat of playing, which is obviously counter-attacking football, it usually works, and then either they get a lucky point or a smash and grab victory, because our home form at Old Trafford hasn't been that good. I mean, to think that we lost to Sheffield United at home already this season goes to show that our results can just be unexpected. But no, surprisingly, during the whole game though, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made no substitutions at all during the game, which I think is quite surprising really, because obviously you'd want to get the scoreline up, because sitting on a 1-0 lead is never usually a good thing, especially if the away team decides to come out and create chances. But we defended resolutely. I think Maguire and Lindelof were exceptional today for a change. Harry Maguire especially was very good. He was defending really well against the likes of Antonio and Bowen, especially considering that Bowen has pace to get in behind. Again, it was another comfortable performance. Dean Henderson didn't really have to do anything during the game. He wasn't really tested during the whole 90 minutes. So it was another clean sheet for him. And pretty much it was just it was a gritty but suitable performance, and we were able to do enough despite the own goal to pick up a massive 3 points to retain second place from Leicester by a point. So obviously the conclusion of the game is it was a nitty-gritty performance. We had to win, obviously, because Leicester took advantage earlier and absolutely demolished Sheffield United after Chris Wilder had left the club. But no, overall I think it's a nitty-gritty performance against a great West Ham side. Obviously, if Lingard was eligible, I think West Ham may have been more of a threat, but our defence was solid at the back today. We didn't let them create any chances. Bruno, although you could say he had a quiet game, it was his corner that led to the goal, and it was an excellent delivery into the box. I think the midfield of McTominay and Fred, as usual, were pretty solid. Rashford, obviously, I was concerned because obviously his ankle injury might have played up again, but no, he was making darting runs. Luke Shaw, again, who's been superb, and who I feel should be starting left back at the Euros for England this summer. Again, probably was one of our main threats down the left-hand side. It's amazing to think that teams haven't actually started to work us out that our main threat is down the left-hand side through Luke Shaw. He was getting in behind, putting crosses into the box as you expect him to. And his resurgence has been remarkable, really, considering that he used to be the injury-prone left-back that didn't really like to bomb forward and get crosses into the box. And the signing of Telles from Porto in January has really boosted Shaw's confidence, knowing that he has competition, as Telles was one of the best left-backs in the Portuguese league last season, as Porto won the title there. So Telles has obviously provided Shaw with that competition to succeed. And for me, on form currently, he's the best left-back in the Premier League. I'm not going to sit here and deny that. On form and on paper, he is the best left-back in the league currently, and he has to be the starting left-back at the Euros. There's no question about it. I mean, Ben Chilwell has been in and out of the team at Chelsea. He hasn't hit the ground running there. Obviously, Kieran Trippier, I swear to God, he better not play Southgate better not play Kieran Trippier at left-back. So it has to be, for me, Luke Shaw at the Euros. And a major boost from Ollie's press conference after the game is that the likes of Pogba, De Gea, Van der Beek, Martial and Cavani should all be fit and raring to go for Thursday's crucial second leg against AC Milan. This is a huge confidence boost, although I feel it will be harsh if Dean Henderson is dropped for David De Gea, because although David De Gea is first team keeper, I feel that despite the mistake Henderson made on Thursday, Henderson has actually made some important saves, especially in the games against Crystal Palace and Man City, but also he set up the goal in the derby for sure. Well, I wouldn't say set up, started the move that led to Luke Shaw scoring the goal, but also has pulled off some vital saves and has kept clean sheets during his 6 games that he's been in for, whilst David De Gea has been in Spain for the birth of his child. So I feel it would be very harsh if De Gea was dropped. Obviously, having Pogba back is massive. I think he offers a lot to our midfield that the likes of McTominay, Fred and Matic don't. He picks out passes that no other player could see. He offers goal threat. He's been on form recently. And obviously his injury was a massive blow. Cavani as well being back is another boost. Obviously, the situation around Cavani has been intense recently after his father admitted that he might not sign a contract extension to the one he signed in the summer on a 1-year deal, which is a bit concerning, as obviously Cavani has been was probably our best centre forward this season. Scored 6 Premier League goals, scored a hat-trick against Southampton. So it will be a massive loss if we lost Cavani in the summer, which also, if we lost Cavani, I feel that we would have to go all out for a striker, and mainly Erling Haaland potentially. But overall, it's been a good performance. And that is my analysis over and done with of Manchester United and West Ham. I will be back either Thursday evening or Friday morning with my analysis of Man United's second leg against AC Milan. I will either be very happy knowing that we've got to the quarters of the Europa League, or I'll be very disappointed. Hopefully the latter, but we'll see, as I do feel that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to win a trophy this season, but we shall see. It's 2 cup games next for Man United though. It won Thursday in the Europa League, and then an FA Cup quarter-final against Leicester next Sunday. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. But overall, that's me over and done with. Thank you very much for listening. Please make sure to hit that like, comment and subscribe button so you never miss a thing from us. And I will be back sometime this week for my analysis of the Europa League second leg between AC Milan and Manchester United.